What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we have a stimulus rebate announcement. I'm going to show you this. We have Senator Hawley has introduced this new proposal, and this could provide a stimulus check or what they're calling a stimulus rebate for the American people. And so I'm going to break it all down and show you who would qualify for this, how much it would be for the average family. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to show you the American Worker Rebate Act. And we're going to talk about some of the key features. So first off, it's a refundable tax credit. Now, refundable tax credit, this is what I think they should have done when they made, in the big, beautiful bill, they had the $6,000 tax deduction for people 65 or older. This is what they should have done to that. But this is a new proposal out there that would provide a refundable tax credit, which would mean they could advance it to you early. So it would be much like stimulus checks, where you would receive the either $600 or whatever number they come to. Right now, they're saying $600, and this is going to be based on tariffs. And let's talk a little bit more about how they're going to receive the money. So we're looking at a base rebate of $600 per adult and per qualifying child. This could be for an average family of 4. We could be looking at $2,400. And so that's pretty significant there. Now, what they're saying is this is a baseline number, and this is going to be based on the amount of tariffs that they collect every year. And looking at eligibility, U.S. citizens, residents, qualified persons with Social Security number, excludes non-resident aliens, trust estates, dependents flagged by others. Now, looking at some of the protections against offsets, payments not reduced for federal debt, student loans, or child support. And so the funding source, like we talked about, this is U.S. tariffs, and it's going to be after January 20th, 2025. The reason why they're setting that date, January 20th, that's when President Trump came into office. Now let's look at who is eligible. So for a single individual making $75,000 or less, AGI, they would qualify. Head of household, $112,500, they would qualify. And then married, filing jointly, $150,000. Now, they have a phase out, and the phase out would be if you reach 95,000, then you would be completely phased out. And that would be for a single individual, head of household, 132,500, and then married filing jointly, 170,000. Now, I want to talk a little bit about tariffs because this is what they're looking at. They're looking at tariffs, and that's how they're determining the amount that you would receive. So it could be 600 or more. Okay, so if we start looking at tariffs, we're looking at right now revenue collected from January to July 2025 is about $100 billion. It just says $100 billion plus. And so if we go back to January, it looks like they collected $7.9 billion. Now, these numbers are not set in stone. These are just the numbers that we're receiving from the current administration. And so April, we have $16.3 billion. June, we have $27 billion. And then in July, if you look at the total since January, we have $150 billion. Now, the annual outlook, they're looking at collecting between $300 and $700 billion in tariffs. Now, I know you might be asking yourself, well, this is good. Tariffs are good. It looks like they're going to allow for this stimulus rebate. Well, we have to first look at what a rebate is. So a rebate is something, let's say, just give this example. Let's say I go to a department store and I buy a TV, or I want to buy a TV. And that TV's $1,000, and they tell us, guess what? You're going to get a $300 instant rebate if you purchase this TV. And I look at it and say, well, that's great. If I spend $1,000, I'm going to get $300 back. So that means I only have to spend $700. But that's a rebate. And so what that means is you're going to have to pay in order to get that rebate. Now, what if we heard, and this is coming from the current administration, they're saying that tariffs, the other countries are paying the tariff. And we've talked about this before on this channel. When it comes to tariffs, the foreign country is not paying the tariff. It's actually the company who is buying the product. So let's say I have a company and I buy TVs. If I buy that TV from a foreign country, I have to pay the tariff when that product comes to U.S. border. That's how it works. And then the money that I pay for that tariff goes to the federal government. And then guess what? I would look at that and say, well, if I'm buying these TVs and I have to pay more now because of this tariff, I'm going to have to, at some point, pass that cost on to the consumer. And so when we're collecting all this money, it's coming from companies in the U.S. that have to pay this tax. And then they pass it on to the American consumer, and then we have to pay the tax. And so what this bill is doing is it's just saying, okay, well, we know that you're going to have to probably pay more. Prices are going to increase as a result of tariffs. And so we're going to offset that a little bit by providing this $600 rebate for you. Now, another problem with the rebate is how long does it last? Because what you're doing is you are causing inflation with the tariffs, and then now you're supplementing that by providing this rebate, so you'll have a little bit more money to spend, and that will just keep that product inflated. And it could go even higher because now you have a little bit more spending money, and then that price will be locked in at a higher level. And so do we really want that? I mean, you're thinking, okay, this is great. We're going to get $600, this $600 rebate, but you're also going to be paying more for that same product. Now, another thing I want to talk about when it comes to proposals, this is still in its infant state, so it still needs to go through Congress. And so in essence, it would have to be passed in the Senate, then passed in the House, and then signed off by the president. Now, you do have some politicians right now that they have issues with this. They have issues with this because they're thinking, okay, well, we're collecting this money in tariffs. This money should be going to pay down our national debt. We shouldn't be giving it back to the American people. That's what some politicians are looking at and saying. You have some conservative politicians that do not want to spend any more money. And when I was talking about the big, beautiful bill that they just passed last month, that's what I was telling you. We're going to have this big, beautiful bill. It's a spending bill. You're going to have some conservative politicians saying we need to stop when it comes to spending. We're going to have some money coming in with these tariffs. We're paying down the national debt. We're not going to give that money to anyone. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, if this does pass, when would they actually start sending out checks? Potentially, they could send out checks in 2025, and they say they can use the information from 2024. So if they could pass this year, people could see those rebates come in this year. And so I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think a stimulus rebate would be great for the American people? Do you think it would just cause prices to go even higher? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.